Hey, hello. As you all know, Boardwalk is all about cuboids. But for any process to be run in Boardwalk, we have to convert the SQL tables to cuboids. Once the integration process has to run, we have to convert the SQL source data into Boardwalk cuboids, and then we convert them back into SQL tables and send the output to the target system. In order to set these rules or this process to run, we have developed a simple system which can be set by any user using our Boardwalk templates. Let me demonstrate a small example using our system so that you can all follow the same and try to do it by yourself. So, as I mentioned earlier, this is our system through which we log in and we download the concerned integration template from where we can set the rules for integration. We call these rules as supermerge rules. So this is the business unit I'm selecting, and this is the EUC I'm selecting, and here goes our training template, the integration velocity template, where I am downloading the template. And once the template is downloaded, I have done that earlier already. So once the template is downloaded, what we need to do is we go there and we check the properties, unblock the security, and click apply. And once this is done, we open the velocity integration template. So here is the velocity integration template. So this is the tab, supermerge tab is the tab from where we can all set the rules, create a rule, delete or run the existing rules. So I am here downloading the data so that we can see all the existing rule that were already created by few of the users. Download takes a couple of seconds. So it is bringing all the information from the server so that the rules can be set by the user. It's a simple UI that we can use to set the rules. Pretty simple and straightforward. So the download is complete. So once the download is complete, you can see all the rules that were earlier created by few of the users. So let's try creating a new rule where we transfer the data from a SQL table to a existing Boardwalk cuboid. So for this, what I'm doing is I'm just saying create a new rule, and I'm selecting the type of rule I want to create, SQL to cuboid, click OK. Then the form appears where we need to just put the selection on all the columns that we need to map and the sequence by which this rule has to happen. Let me start with it. First, we just create a rule name. S2C is nothing but SQL to Q. If you see the database rule, the rule for supermerge has been given where the SQL data has to move to a SQL existing cuboid in Boardwalk. And once that is done, we select what kind of transformation has to be done. That is, we insert the record into cuboid, we update, or we also delete. So for now, I'm just selecting insert and update. And here is the SQL source table, and we have to select the cuboid name or the target information, where I'm selecting the target information based on the levels, based on the collaboration that it is existing on, the whiteboard that it is existing on, and the final cuboid name where the data will be moved into the target data. And when I say next, this is something that we set so that this job, we can schedule this as a job in the server, where it can occur based on the frequency that being set here, weekly once or daily or whatever we want. So we can enable a job schedule, and we can also set when this should be triggered. And if we want to get any notification based on the triggers, what before any procedure or during any procedure call, we can just set up all those things also here. For now, I'm just leaving them there and I'm just saying save. And if you see, once I say save, my rule will be set, and I can see the rule here in the integration rules tab. This form will be closed and I can see the rule there in my tab. And now I can use this rule, and now I can use this rule to execute this process, or I can even delete this rule, or I can deactivate this rule. So for to show an example on what happens when this rule is executed, let me take you to the database. So here is the database where we have the database, the server where we are using the database from. So here is the source table. If you see, this is the source table. So I have to move this source table information into an existing SQL, the database keyword or the Boardwalk keyword. If you see, the employee master keyword is here. So what I'm doing is, there is existing data in the SQL table. What I'll do is I'll insert some more records, and just the same names. I'm just reinserting back the records with some different information. So here I'm inserting the records back into the SQL table. This will be my new records, which I have to move to the keyword. If you see, the current keyword just has 44 records. Let me go back and run the rule and see what happens after that. So this is the rule that I am executing, the rule that we have created right now, and it says it has successfully run. So let's go back to the keyword and see what happens. So firstly, we had only 44 records, and now when I rerun the keyword, the records have increased to 88. So I got all the records that were not present earlier back into the keyword with the postfix as test, and I can see the existing records are also present. There's no change to them. So this is how it is run and set, and we use these rules. So we have seen an example of S2C, that is equal to keyword. Similarly, we can set rules even for keyword to SQL, keyword to keyword, and multi-keyword. That is, multi-keyword means we select from two keywords inserting into one keyword, or 3 to 5 keywords back into single keyword. That is, again, we have to select the columns based on the columns that are set for primary key and all that. So this is how the different rules are set. The columns, the primary columns and the update columns for insert and update are selected. Then we run the rule from here. We can deactivate the rule. We can always set these rules as job. Everything can be done from this template here. A simple UI form that can be used to set all these rules and move the data from respective tables to keywords, or keywords to tables.